Hey kids, just a quick overview of Jammy 2.0. So this Jammy is made for version 16, so I'm going to keep up version 1.0 just because this one might not work in 15. If anybody has 15 and you download this, please let me know. I don't know if the master controllers will work because there is like the master controller foundational stuff in the other version, but the new 16 upgrades, I use the wizard, so I don't know if that's going to work. You gotta let me know. So here, same as the original, we've got some 2-point constraints here. So Jammy is very bouncy. Bing, 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 bing. So cute. And there's some little deformers in the arms. I don't think I have any drawing subs for the hands, or very few. Yeah, no, not really. In this version, I did include mouths. Not a huge mouth chart, just like your generic sort of types. So I don't know if anybody wants to do any talking with Jammy. And I've added some little constraint handles here on the knees and stuff. I have tried adjusting the knees to have a little bit less distortion. There's still going to be a margin of error, but it's less so. The ankle's still not as good. It's got less stretch on it. So that might be something that I update in the future, but I couldn't get it to work as well as the knee for some reason. So you're going to have to adjust the foot still. And the biggest change I made is I put in these master controller things. So for anybody who doesn't know how to use your master controllers, here in your master controller tab, you can select which one you want to find. And there's this great little button here that boop will bring you right to the master controllers. Let me add a drop thingy. Insert backdrop. So many eye-searing colors. I don't know why they don't have some fractions of gray in here. That seems less like it's going to burn out your retinas. So I'm going to put master controllers. The MC nodes are down here, and there are 4. There's also some little like interface options here that I've added. So you can select all of the master controllers and show the controls here. Show master controller. Bloop. And it's going to turn those on. This. Boop. I guess you have to... Boop. Yeah, you have to select them out of the box one by one. That. So you can also select all of them in here and hit Shift F11 or View, Show, Control, and that's going to show any of the controls you have selected. So the first one here, let me just come over to an empty spot. This one controls the movement of Jammy, all of the different views. I left them out on the timeline, but you can actually remove those now that it's all set up. There is a margin of error where the Z-axis starts to get a bit jacked up with some of the options. There are some changes I'd like to make in this regard, especially like this kind of stuff, but I just haven't had the time. And here you're getting a little bit of error, but there's certainly a lot of utility in this. It's pretty great. So I think it's going to be pretty fun to play around with this. Whee! And then these sliders belong to the mouse, so left, boop, this one here. And this little grid, if you line it up right on the grid points, boop, boop, you should get the main key poses. So these ones, there you go. They're the ones that I've posed out. So here, if you go all the way over to this one, not all of them, like between here and here, you can see where it goes from a deformer. There's a fracturing that was happening as the mouth was getting smaller. See that there? So I switched to a drawing substitution. Inside there we have a transformation switch. So if you want to use, to add a deformer on this mouth, I'll just turn it on here. There you go. So not all of them have those, but it will, like all of that can be interpolated using the deformer. But the smaller mouths, it just fractured and exploded. So that's not going to work. And I just like this super wide mouth. And I hit all my controls again. Boop. So you can actually select these little guys and it'll bring you here as well. So you can select them all. Turn them back on. So here, this is going to give you the middle mouths. Here's going to give you these mouths here. And they should all work pretty good. You can see that once you start sliding these deformers around, then you go back and start doing this. You can see the mouth is now jacked up. We can switch it back to the front mouth here by turning this slider on, and then it's going to work a little bit better. Yep, 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 yep. So the main thing is you want to use the best kind of workflow you can for this. So use your master controller at the beginning when you start your scene. get all the major poses keyed out, and then worry about this later. So as long as your poses are kind of in the ballpark, then these mouths are going to be the best ones for that kind of area. These mouths are going to be the best ones for the central area, and these ones are going to be the best one for over here. Eyes, just drawing subs. Eyebrows, have a little deformer so you can go bananas with posing like that. And I believe, let me see. Yeah, we have deformers in here as well with transformation switch, so you can turn it on and off when you need to. So I think that's it. That's all the features of this Jammy grape. So once you import it into your scene, you're going to have all this stuff lined up. If you want to, you can just boop, get rid of all of it, clear out all those drawing substitutions, and then you should be able to use your master controllers to pose out your character along the timeline. So then move along, pose, move along, pose, move along, pose. Then you want to go and use these later once you've got all those poses set up. Because as I've shown in other videos, once you start posing these little arms and stuff, then when you use your master controller, that's going to stay adjusted, which sometimes works out in your favor. Like this is kind of adorable, but oftentimes you'll end up with crazy ostrich legs. So if you bend Jammy's knees, oops, like this, and then you start moving it around, now you've got crazy ostrich legs, which maybe you want. Maybe Jammy is a crazy, scary ostrich-looking monster that is about to eat a village despite their adorable face. Who knows? But just know that the workflow is important in that regard. All right, so that's it. I'm going to leave everything out on the timeline just in case master controllers or something don't come into the scenes properly. You can set up your own, or you can just tag things out of the timeline if that's a better workflow for you. And I don't know how this is going to work in 15, so please let me know if you import this into 15. If you use Jammy, please tag me so I can see what you're doing, because I want to see some adorable Jammy animations. And that's it. Like, share, subscribe for all those things internet people ask you to do, and I'll see you in the next video.